Hello everyone and welcome to Software Concepts. In this video we are going to learn the difference between compiler and interpreter. So now we will talk about compilers. Compiler is a program that translates high-level language code to machine language code. In whichever language we write the code, computer understands only machine language. So we have to convert the code to machine language code and compiler does that job. Here I have a pictorial presentation where I am giving a high level language code, C++ or Java code as an input to compiler. Compiler compiles the code and produces an object file. Now, a bigger applications may have multiple source files. So, for every source file, an object file is created. So, if there are multiple object files, then linker combines all the object files together and then it links the object files with the standard input-output library and produces the executable. Now, the executable, which is the short form is EXE. Now, executable is placed in the memory, is loaded into memory, and then CPU accesses the executable from the memory, does the desired task, and produces the result. That is how a software program gets executed inside the computer. So the point number 3 we already discussed. Compiler produces an object file. Then point number 4, linker combines multiple object files and then links them with the standard library to produce executable. Now this compiled code, the exe, can be run as many number of times as we want. We don't need to compile every time. The one executable, if I want to run it 50 times, I can run it 50 times. So no need to compile it 50 number of times. The languages like C, C++, Java are the few examples where we use compilers to convert the high-level language code to machine language code. Now we'll come to interpreters. Interpreters are also used to translate high-level language code to machine language code. However, unlike compilers, they don't produce an executable. Interpreters don't produce executable. They interpret the code line by line at runtime. Now we have a pictorial presentation here. The high level language code like JavaScript or Perl, these are the scripting languages. They use interpreters to convert high level language code to machine language code. So this is passed through the interpreter. Then from interpreter it goes to memory, and then memory CPU accesses it from memory and the result is result is displayed. So point number 3, 1 and 2 we discussed in the previous slide. Point number 3, interpreter works at runtime or at the program execution time. We don't need to compile it in advance. At runtime we just it executes the script line by line. It executes the code line by line and not in one go. We discussed. Every time the code has to be interpreted whenever the program is run. If I'm executing the code 50 number of times, interpretation has to be done 50 number of times. Languages like JavaScript, Perl are the few examples for which we use interpreters to convert high level language code to machine language code. So I have a table here. Here we are going to see the differences, or we can say this is a summary of the previous slides. First point, compiler, executable is produced. Coming to interpreter, executable is not produced. Directly interpretation is done at runtime. Then compiler, we do one-time compilation, and that executable can be run as many number of times as we want. And then interpretation, it has to be done every time. If I am executing my application 50 times, I have to interpret it at 50 times. Then C, C++, Java are the examples of compilers, are the examples of languages which use compilers to produce machine language code, and JavaScript, Perl and Java are the examples of are the languages which use interpreters. Now if you see here, I have written Java in both of the columns. Yeah, that says Java uses compiler also and interpreter also. It's like for some part of the Java code we use compilers, and for some part of the Java code we use interpreters. So I hope this video helps you all. Thank you.